Don't stub it on me, though.
I'm not big. Challenge.
Where would you get this one, man?
Ain't no jumping out.
When Joe Rogan first caught a glimpse of Gervonta Tank Davis's new bulked-up look ahead of the Jake Paul fight, you could practically hear that classic Rogan mix of shock and fascination, half woe and half scientific breakdown.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy's so unusual.
Yeah.
His style's so unusual, and his patience.
Yes.
Yeah. He finds these openings and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient.
Right.
Like when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he's like at a world champions that are competing today at the highest level, he probably has the lowest punch count in the early rounds.
Yeah.
Because he just wait, but he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence in that.
On his podcast, Rogan didn't hold back. After watching Tank's latest training clips, he said, "Dude looks like he's been built in a powerlifting lab." And honestly, he wasn't exaggerating. Tank's shoulders are wider, his traps are sitting high like a bull ready to charge, and his whole frame looks way thicker than it did before the Ryan Garcia fight. Rogan broke it down the way only he can, explaining how the added muscle might actually boost Tank's explosiveness, punch velocity, and hip torque, instead of slowing him down.
It's interesting, right? Like you don't know whether someone's ever going to be able to figure that out or whether or not he's just going to keep cracking people.
Yeah.
You know, so it's part of the fun of watching it. I've talked to a lot of like real boxing purists. It's like you can't rely on that style.
Right.
He's got to be busier. When he gets to the best guys, it's not going to work out. Like, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see because there's so many good.
But this version of Tank is showing up to win on points. He's out of his mind. That dude's coming to end it early. You could tell Rogan genuinely respects the grind. He loves seeing fighters evolve. And this new version of Gervonta Davis looks like evolution on steroids. Not literally, but in the sense of a fighter completely reinventing himself to make a statement. Joe summed it up perfectly. This isn't Tank Davis 2.0. This is Tank Davis Unleashed.
He got the skills, the power, he got the ring IQ to do good, but we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's also wild. He's a wild fella, so he's fun to watch. You know, he's just a crazy dude. You know?
Yeah, coming from Baltimore, man, I think that's just his upbringing as well. You know, product of his own environment.
Yes, for sure. He's just so unique in his approach. Like, you know, he doesn't fight like anybody else.
After Joe Rogan geeked out over Tank's new bulk and basically crowned him a mini Mike Tyson on steroids, the focus shifted to Wade Plemon's breakdown, and things got even more intense. You can tell this camp isn't just training for the cameras. They're engineering a game plan. Calvin Ford's in the corner like a mad scientist with a clipboard, dissecting every small habit Jake Paul has, every tiny reaction that could turn into a weakness. This isn't casual sparring. This is Tank sharpening the blade, perfecting his footwork, his timing, his angles, and locking himself into a zone where the only possible outcome is domination.
Least serious you take Jake, and I've said this about everybody that's fought him, the ones that don't take him serious, the ones that say he's a YouTuber and everything else, they end up losing, or they end up looking like, oh, wait a second, this guy was a little better than I thought, getting taken by surprise, or actually sometimes losing because they don't realize that Jake actually takes it serious. So this is good to hear. Just already, right off the rip, they were already doing something.
Surprise. So tell me, when did you hear about this?
They've been going back and forth for years, Tank and Jake. They've been going at it for years, and it would have happened sooner, you know what I'm saying? But we have hiccups in life.
And listen, when I say Tank's attacking the body, I'm not talking about light shots or cardio work. I mean, he's carving Jake down like a Thanksgiving turkey, breaking him piece by piece until every step forward feels like he's walking through quicksand. But here's the part that really stands out. Tank's not just the bigger, faster, stronger guy anymore. He's the smarter one. Calvin Ford's strategy isn't built on chaos or brute force. It's precision warfare. Every round, every punch is part of a chess match. How do you make a 200-pound powerhouse pay for every inch of reach he thinks he owns?
Guy that's targeting the body, and it's the best thing that Tank could do for this fight. I mean, trying to go headshot for headshot with Jake Paul when he's probably Jake's 7 inches taller than he is. I'm assuming he's going to have a bit of a reach, even though Tank has a kind of freakish reach for his height. I don't think that's a great idea. And again, you're at eye level with Jake's belly button damn near. So you're going to have to be able to land shots right there on the waistline. And it's probably the best idea if you actually want to knock Jake out in this fight, if you actually want a game plan, because again, it's an exhibition, but if you want a game plan to get him out of there, you have to attack.
You can already see it in the footage. Tank ripping vicious combinations to the body, Jake's hands starting to drop, fatigue creeping in. And when that happens, opportunity starts knocking. Because we both know, if Tank lands clean, it doesn't just slow Jake down. It flips the entire narrative of the fight. The funny thing? Everyone's calling this an exhibition, a circus act. But these clips tell a completely different story. Tank's treating this like a world title defense. Because when Calvin Ford's in your corner, fear isn't something you hide from, it's something you weaponize. So buckle up. This isn't Tank performing for Netflix. This is Tank plotting a takeover. And trust me, he's ready to expose every single crack in Jake Paul's armor.
Ridiculously hard for Tank to actually knock Jake out. I'm just, that's like 70-pound difference, 60-pound difference. That means something. And Jake's not some guy that's never thrown punches. He's a relative novice when it comes to, skill level that Tank has, but still, he knows how to protect himself. And again, his body structure allows for some mistakes to happen that he wouldn't have to pay for like he would if he was 135 pounds. Point being, I would be impressed, very, if Tank knocked him out cold or dropped him with some, hurt.
Just when we thought Calvin Ford's blunt honesty was peak entertainment, along comes Lamont Roach Sr., dropping boardroom heat on Gervonta Davis's business moves. The man didn't throw punches, he threw contracts. He basically said Tank skipped a rematch and sprinted straight to Netflix like, forget honor, I'm chasing algorithms. And honestly, he's not wrong. This Jake Paul fight feels like boxing took a hard left turn into a YouTube thumbnail. Try explaining that to an old school fight fan. Yeah, bro, Tank Davis is fighting the guy who used to prank people at Target.
It's not good. It's not good for the sport. A lot of people say, oh, money this and money that, but you gotta do business the right way. You know what I'm saying? You got guys on that other side, especially fighters, that take time out of their life, train, get their coaches and sparring partners. They go different places, travel. They invest a lot of times in their career, and it's a lot. So, when they get back, they get news like that, it does not receive well. So, but we solid. We're gonna stand 10 toes down, man, and we're gonna see what's next for us.
Here's where it really gets spicy. Roach didn't sugarcoat a thing. He said it straight. You can't just break business and bounce for a bigger check. And I'm sitting there thinking, bro, tell that to half of Hollywood and every influencer with boxing gloves. Still, he's got a point. If Tank really skipped that rematch just to fight Jake Paul, that's like skipping the NBA Finals to play in a celebrity 3v3 game. Sure, you'll get the bag. But your legacy? Yeah, it's giving you side eye. Now, don't get it twisted, Jake Paul can punch. But Tank's built like a pocket-sized nuke with gloves on. This isn't content creation, it's career destruction. And if Jake walks in thinking this is just another influencer exhibition, he's about to find out the hard way that Tank doesn't do collabs. He does consequences.
Tank is just so much more better than Jake Paul. And some people feel, well, Jake Paul is this big heavyweight that punches hard, and Tank's gonna find out, do you feel like this is going to be an actual real fight just underneath the term exhibition? And do you see the fight playing out when someone gets hurt?
I don't even want to talk on that fight, me honest. I can care less about what it is. It's an exhibition, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing. He ducked that work. Yeah. He ducked that work.
And right after Lamont Roach Sr. finished his verbal knockout, his son, Lamont Roach Jr., stepped in and lit up the conversation like a man done playing nice. He said what everyone's been whispering. Tank didn't just dodge the rematch. He swerved straight into the Jake Paul circus like it was Coachella. And the best part? Roach Jr. called it out exactly for what it is, for laughs. Imagine training your entire life for a world title, only to watch the guy who beat you jump into an influencer boxing match where the biggest debate is glove size. You could feel Roach Jr.'s frustration. This is a man who wanted smoke in the ring, not Tank chasing clicks on Netflix.
Rematch fight versus Gervonta after this fight?
Who knows? He said he's retiring. I believe him. Honestly, I think he's scared. So if he's going to retire, I believe he's going to retire.
You think he'll retire after the exhibition match?
I think so.
Why do you say that?
Because we get scared.
And listen, I get it. The Jake Paul fight has dollar signs spinning around it like a Vegas slot machine. But legacy doesn't live on TikTok. If Tank really walks away after Jake, that's like a superhero retiring mid-series just because the merch sold out. Jake Paul is 200 pounds of pure content creation. And Tank Davis? He's built like a human missile. This fight is either going to be the shortest main event in history, or the biggest marketing masterclass since Logan boxed a weather app. Either way, it feels like boxing just shifted from HBO drama to YouTube reality show overnight. But hey, we'll still be watching. Because when Tank Davis steps into the ring with Jake Paul, something viral, something violent, and something very expensive is about to go down.
On the Gervonta fight, the weight, the ounces on the gloves, 12 ounce, and then, you know, Calvin was asking to get the 10s. What do you think about that? And people who don't understand that.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about their fight per se. Like, I really don't care. I don't care about their fight.
Here's the wild part. This fight isn't just a spectacle. It's a social experiment wearing boxing gloves. On one side, you've got Jake Paul, the internet's golden boy of chaos. On the other, Gervonta Tank Davis is a product of Baltimore's boxing trenches. It's influencer culture versus fighter culture, the algorithm versus the art form. And here's the crazy part, both sides need this. Jake's chasing legitimacy. Tank's chasing a legacy that stretches beyond the ropes. This is two universes colliding just to see who bends first. But here's my take. If Tank lands clean, that's not just a knockout, that's a cultural reset. That's the day boxing takes the internet back from the influencers. But if Jake survives, even drags Tank into the deep rounds, oh man, we might be witnessing the birth of the most hated success story in combat sports history. Either way, this isn't just a fight. It's a battle for who owns the spotlight next.
Jake Paul is good enough where people say, oh, he's terrible. Jake Paul is not a world-class fighter. I don't care how a person feel about that. Fighters that started in their formative years, like we did, 8, 9, 10, we got too much time in. Jake will never catch up to that. Nope. He'll never catch up to that. We just got too much time in.
And there it is. One man chasing greatness, the other chasing validation. Both gambling everything that defines them. When those gloves touch, it won't just be a fight. It'll be the moment we find out if authenticity still beats algorithm. Either Tank's about to remind the internet what real power looks like, or Jake's about to pull off the biggest plot twist since McGregor versus Mayweather. So what do you think? Is Tank about to drop Jake faster than hotel Wi-Fi? Or is Jake actually built to survive that Baltimore smoke? Drop your thoughts below, debate it, roast it, defend it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters, the home of real talk, wild takes, and zero filters. See you in the next one.